Friday was no normal morning in Washington, as residents awoke to the realization that their city was now home to a major sports championship for the first time in decades. That sense of giddiness extended to the halls of official Washington, as politicians from nearly all levels weighed in with congratulations. President Trump weighed in early Friday morning on Twitter, remarking that the city was popping. Caps fever also gripped the usually stolid halls of the House of Representatives thanks to Rep. Steny Hoyer, who serves a swath of Maryland that includes 5 suburban counties. What happened in Vegas? How the Caps celebrated the Stanley Cup? For what purpose does the gentleman from Maryland seek recognition? Roger W. Marshall, Arkansas, Friday's acting Speaker of the House, asked his fellow congressman near the start of the morning's business. "Mr. Speaker, I ask consent to speak out of order," Hoyer replied. Then, remarking that it was warm in here, he peeled off his jacket and proceeded to rock the red. C-SPAN gives us the video. "Mr. Speaker, there is joy in the Washington Capital region today," Hoyer boomed as he picked up a copy of Friday's Post. "When I get up in the morning every day and I read the front page of the Washington Post, I usually say, 'Oh my goodness.' Today, I read the front page of the Washington Post, at last. Capitals, with Alex Ovechkin holding the Stanley Cup high, celebrates." So this is what it feels like. Hoyer went on to recall how the late Abe Cullen, one of the great citizens of our region, brought the Caps to the area in Landover when Hoyer was a Maryland state senator in the early 1970s. He also called current Caps owner Ted Leonsis on 3 distinct occasions. "In the spirit of the day, we'll let that one slide. Mr. Speaker, I rise with great joy and excitement to celebrate the tremendous victory last night by the Washington Capitals in the Stanley Cup Finals," he said. The Caps had an extraordinary season and brought home a victory for the National Capital Region, its first major sports championship since 1992. When team captain Alex Ovechkin raised the Stanley Cup over his head last night, he did so on behalf of thousands upon thousands of Caps fans across our region, including of course my district. Hoyer also saluted the Vegas Golden Knights, saying they had a magnificent season, but his focus was on the local champions. "I hope my colleagues, dare I say, even the ones from Nevada, will join me in congratulating them as well," Hoyer said. On Twitter, Representative Don Baer, Hoyer's colleague from the other side of D.C. in Virginia, was right there for it, while giving Thomas Boswell's column some link love. Jerry Connolly, representing Fairfax and Prince William counties, also got in on the action, so did Rep. Barbara Comstock, R. Virginia. So did Senator Tim Kaine, D. Virginia. And Senator Lisa Murkowski, R. Alaska. And Representative John Delaney, D. Maryland. And Senator Heidi Heitkamp, DND. D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser offered her congratulations as the Caps were parading the Stanley Cup around the ice in Las Vegas on Thursday night, appropriately enough in all capital letters. Carolyn G. Goodman, Bowser's Las Vegas counterpart, was a good sport about the Golden Knights' loss and promised to make good on her bet to wear a Caps sweater at a city council meeting later this month, and members of the D.C. Council followed the mayor's lead, read more Stanley Cup Finals coverage, game summary, Capitals 4, Golden Knights 3 Capitals win Stanley Cup, Washington's first major sports championship since 1992. Sluga, Alex Ovechkin wins the Stanley Cup and secures his legacy. Here are a few more awful streaks the Caps ended. Boswell, for Capitals and their fans, tears of joy replace years of frustration. Washington becomes a sea of red in celebration of the Capitals' first championship. Joshi held back tears as he shared the Stanley Cup with his dad. Capitals and Washington celebrate a triumph decades in the making. The Capitals supporting cast was again center stage in Stanley Cup clincher.